Okay, so I've opened up Adobe Animator and I've started a new ActionScript 3 document. So this gives me my window here that I'm going to work in. Now, the first thing that I actually need to have is a picture that I'm using of a Chinese dragon. So let's plonk that into Google, and because we are working within copyright restrictions, when we go to our image search, we're going to go to Tools. It should give me a drop down. There we go. Usage rights, and we want reuse with modification. Now, I did scroll down a little bit and found one this morning that I quite liked. Let's see if I can find it again. Nope. Okay, let's pick a different one. I can't find the one I was using this morning. So, there it is. So I'm going to use this one. I like this one. This one works. So I'm going to view the image because copy and paste from that screen doesn't always work. And I'm literally just going to copy the image, go to Animator, and paste that image in. Now this image is almost the exact size that I want. So I'm just going to grab my free transform tool. I'm going to hold the shift key down and click and drag to resize so that it actually fills the stage that was there, and now it's now lined up with the top. So I've got my image. I have my first layer, which is my layer 1. Double clicking on it will allow you to edit it, and I'm going to rename this to Dragon. We now need a layer in which we are going to put our eye. So I'm going to right click on there, and I'm going to insert a layer which has come up above. I'm going to call it eyelid because that's what is going to be on here. There's that rename. So anything I do with my eyelid is now going to be done on the eyelid layer. Anything I do with my dragon image will be done on the dragon layer. So let's get this eyelid underway. I'm going to start off grabbing a rectangle tool, and I'm going to set my color by clicking the color there at the bottom and just coming over here and selecting a color that pretty much matches the color of the eyelid. I'm going to do a long and thin rectangle in there, and I know it's a bit hard to see at the moment, but trust me, there's a long thin rectangle, and I've made sure I'm on this eyelid layer as well. Next step, I need to curve this eyelid so that it fits over my dragon's eye. So when I move the mouse over, you can see I've got a move tool, and I've got an arrow which goes to a curve when I go over the edges. That arrow with the curve that we want to click and drag so it forms an arch there and an arch there. Moving it into place, we might need to tweak it slightly with the free transform tool. So mine's a bit wide at the moment. Let's bring this in and we'll make it a little bit flatter and rotating it around very slightly. So if I now click off of there, you can see it's pretty much where it needs to be. And it's just more, the main problem at the moment is going to be the case of actually getting onto the shape in order to move it, which can be a little bit awkward. There we go. Right, so we've got that roughly lined up. Now, if your shape starts to jump around, if you go to View and Snapping and turn all of the ticks that come up on that snapping off. So anything that's got a tick beside it, turn it off. And that means that you will have fine control over the editing. Now the blinking eye is made up using shape tweens. So what we actually need to do next is we need to right click, and we can get away with inserting a keyframe because that will keep our eyelid where it is. You may also notice that our dragon has disappeared. Now, because we're going to be doing double, see I have to close and open again, I've done 36. So I'm going to have 72 frames in total. So frame 72, that's 70 on that slightly darker grey, 71, 72 on my dragon layer. I'm going to insert a frame. My dragon will now go all the way across, even though at the moment my eyelid is only there. Right, back to the eyelid. Making sure that the eyelid is selected, I'm going to click on the keyframe that I inserted. I'm going to deselect the shape, and I'm going to get that curve tool on the bottom line of that eyelid. It might be worth setting the colour after you've done this step so you can see what you're doing if you are struggling. But I'm literally going to pick up that bottom line and drag it down so it curves in the other direction and covers that line. I'm going to right click now. So I've got open eye, closed eye, open, closed. It's not blinking at the moment, it's just open and closed. So we're now going to work on this bar here. And we are going to right click on here and we are going to do a shape tween in there. What you will notice is the bar turns green and it has an arrow. And as we scrub through, the dragon's eye will close as we play forward. Randomly might open as we go backwards, but we don't get all the way to reopen. So we still got our eyelid on our copy bit. We're going to put in a new keyframe, but this time we want a blank keyframe. So let's put that in there, and then I'm going to right click, and for some reason it's not actually giving me the paste in place, so I'm just going to paste it in the center. Oh, that's fine. I'm going to have to pick up my shape again, so making sure that I've got it selected. I'm going to copy that, and hopefully it will now paste my eyelid in when I tell it to. There we go. Just going to line this up back with where the original eyelid was as best as possible. You can click on the frames and just look for a change. Okay, paste that back in. For some reason it's taking it out. Line that back up. There we go, it's still there now because I'm getting the curve. Final step of a blink. This new grey bit here, where the eye is closed before it flicks open, anywhere in that block, you are going to right click on it and create a shape tween again. And now, if you go back to the start and play your animation, the eye closes and the eye will reopen. And that is your blinking dragon.